Hey, what's up everybody? It's Carpo. I was just wanted to make this quick video. It kind of this morning I watched a video from Queen Bee Nightly, and I could totally relate to that video about narcissism, because I know people who are narcissists, and I'm try to be aware of myself when I tend to be narcissistic or whatnot. After I watched that video, I read this comment on my latest video, and I wanted to read it to you to show we all get weird comments and we all have to deal with weird stuff, but I'll just read it and we'll go from there. It says, I first saw a comment of yours on Linda Little Bear's video. It's hard to read. I liked your intro, as you seemed very open and friendly. I then PM'd you. I have not received one reply, in capitals. It's greatly pissing me off, and I feel very insulted. So I will hound you till I get one, in capital again, one acknowledgement that you have ignored me, in capitals. And then I will unsub you. Unless you block me first, which will not surprise me because you seem a very odd person. And at first I thought it was like a trolling video. I thought it was a trolling comment, and I thought, nobody would be that ignorant, to come up and attack someone just for not getting a reply. I mean, I don't know how many people that I've messaged and, sent messages to probably get lost in the mix. For me personally, I don't check my inbox. I forget that it's there, and every week or so I'll be like, oh yeah, and I'll try to check it, and sometimes I go a few weeks. So I commented back, and I went back and I looked at my comments on my messages. There were 3 messages from this person over a period of 24 hours. And basically it was like, to me, to expect someone to answer you that quickly and then to threaten them, say, there are so many things in this that just cracked me up. I have not received one reply. It's greatly pissing me off. Right there, they're showing anger towards it. Why would you show anger towards someone not responding to your comment? Unless you think that it must be very important to you. I feel very insulted. That's another personal issue. So I will hound you, basically saying he's going to keep hounding me until I get one acknowledgement that you have ignored me, making the assumption that I have ignored him. And then I will unsub you, which is basically saying, drawing conclusions and saying, I will unsub you. I mean, all of these things just crack me up. It says, then I will unsub you unless you block me first, and will not surprise me because you seem a very odd person. Now, I am an odd person, but when you use it in a context that's negative, why would I even want to answer your comment? And when people leave comments like that, I just blow them off. And, he sent another one back saying something to the effect of how I'm not a good person, or that, I think that sometimes people get the impression that I'm this person who just is here to serve them, and I think a lot of YouTubers have that same experience. I'm just a guy making videos. I don't owe anybody anything. I spend the time to make my videos. I told the person I had a life, and they got offended, assuming that it meant that they didn't have a life, and he said, you say you have a life, but you can't even check your messages. And that really reflected to me on how important messages are to some people. That is their life, and that's their choice. And I'm not going to go harassing a person because all they think about is the computer, or because, messages are the most important thing. But neither should a person harass someone merely because they didn't get a response. And, for me, if I had been messaging someone for, over and over, then I might say, well, you're obviously ignoring me. But when it's the first comment you've ever heard from the person, and they instantly start labeling and attacking, it gives you a reflection of those people in society, the narcissists, the ones who assume that everybody's here to help them. And so no, I'm not here to serve anybody who just wants me to respond to them whenever they want. I'm not here to prove anything, and that's why I've kept my channel so neutral. Over the last couple of years, I've made it a point not to get into any one particular subject, or to try to take it in any direction to where it gets organized, because at that point people do start expecting things. So I guess getting that comment, it gave me a little glimpse into how some of these bigger YouTube channels must have to deal with some really, I mean, I've seen some comments on videos that are just so out there, totally non-related, you know, personal character attacks and stuff, you know, trying to get to people. But ultimately what it comes down to is sometimes you can't tell if these people are joking or not, you know, and you start to wonder, you know, to what degree are they psychotic? I mean, you can look in a person's eyes and learn a lot about them and talk to them with their actions, their demeanor. But when you're online, all you see is words. You don't know if it's got spelled correct. You don't know if it was even written by them. You don't know, you know, I guess the point being that we don't know who we really are through words. So when somebody makes a comment, I try to remember that it's not always the way that I interpret it. It doesn't have to be taken the way that we interpret it. But sometimes a person is just right out there in front and making themselves obviously look like a jerk. And those are the people I've chose to avoid in my life, because the number one thing that they do is try to turn everything around and make you look like the bad guy. Which in my case, I'm happy with that. I don't care, because I don't have to defend my person or who I am, because I know myself. So I think you gotta have thick skin to get out there and, you know, talk about random subjects and to get people, you know, interested in things is really all I'm into. This is what, to try to convey an interest. Hey, I discovered this about plants, you know, check it out for yourself. And sometimes people message me and they ask me lengthy questions, medical questions, things like that. Should I take this or use this for this? I can't answer those questions. I can't. I'm not a doctor, and I will not attempt to diagnose anyone or tell anyone what works. For example, my Kratom videos, you take them for what they are, and I'm not going to, I'm not going to try to teach or lead people in a direction that I'm not 100% on. And I'm not 100% on much in this world. You know, I find an herbal supplement or remedy that works for me for a while, but I know the effects of placebo and the way that the mind works, so you can't just sit here and say, this works, this works, this works. And so anyway, that's what I'm all, you know, that's why I try to keep myself neutral. And because then I don't feel like I have to cater to anyone's expectations, especially not the narcissists, because, you know, I don't have the time to defend myself, or do I care? It's not really worth it. I'll respond if a person asks, but I don't generally really care if a person sees me a way that isn't how I am. You know, in other words, the opinion of someone across the internet that I've never met really doesn't mean very much to me. My good subs that I've talked to for a while I have a respect for and an understanding, but you know, when an odd person steps in and expects something, it's just not going to happen. You know, we only have so much time, and I guess my inbox is not my priority in life. So if anybody sent me PMs in the past and I didn't respond, I do apologize. I don't check it. And I try to respond to the comments I can when I have time. So anyway, take care everybody, and have a great day.